I would like to be dreaming of is yung format ng other countries wherein the seafarers can reintegrate as shareholders or stakeholders ng mga shipping lines or kasi kumikita naman sila di ba? So wala tayong mechanism for bonds, wala tayong mechanism for sabihin na nating IPOs, no? Or trade index. So pag bumili tayo ng shares, kunyari, no, iilan lang ang mga shipping companies na naka-IPO. So kung bibili ka and hindi naiintindihan ng seafarers yun, hindi ka makalagay ng pondo. So sa Philippine Merchant Marine Alumni Association, we would like to be pioneers and to start this maritime funding na to. For example, I would like to buy 100 shares worth 100 pesos per share or sa bonds na ginawa. Kasi nakita ko, I was inspired by Philippine Veterans Bank wherein they are selling bonds for 110 pesos only. Maximum of 100 shares. So, it's no-brainer. That's only what? Mura lang yon. Mas mura pa yon kaysa sa Heineken na binibili natin doon sa seafarer, doon sa mga bar doon sa Bremen at saka sa Bremen Haven, di ba? So, hindi ka nakarating doon. Anong mo mister mo? May salamin doon, mura beer sa kabila. Oo, doon. So anyway, so yung proseso na yon, if we could master that, kasi you cannot blame the seafarers for being very critical kasi hard-earned money nila to eh. So siguro, the PMMA Alumni Association can also be a watchdog for this funding. Ang kulang lang is the mechanism how to put this up. And yung target, I'm very grateful kay Captain Jess. Nakita niya to, they already started it. And then I was also able to talk to Ma'am Mary Ann Pastrana and nag-sharing kami, and I'm glad she's here. Nag-sharing kami ng, sabi ko, ma'am, in my last 2 decades, ang lagi kong frustration, may technology kayo, may ruta tayo, pero wala naman kasi the moment na bumili ka ng barko, dapat meron kang magandang financing. So, para bumili kayo ng kotse, dapat may BPI, may RCBC, nag-advertise pa ako, no? O BDO, no? Dapat meron kayong gano'n. Kaya lang, sa iba kasing bansa, iba ang trato sa mga ship owners and sa mga maritime industry. Hindi ka pareho ng commercial interest rate, hindi ka pareho ng mga requirement na kailangan nila na sabihin na natin ang ating maritime financing is, I don't want to say this na non-existent, meron, sabi nga ni Yusek Sarmiento sa akin last time na nagkita kami, kaya lang nakukulangan ako. Dahil kasi we are being treated as, sabihin na natin we're being treated as commercial. So what do I mean commercial? Di ba pag nangutang ka sa bangko, meron kang collateral, they're not happy with the ships na binili mo. Gusto nila may equity pa. So gusto nila meron ka pang cash. Gusto nila yung bundok, tsaka yung farm. Kasama yung helicopter, tsaka yung yung farm to, kasama yun sa collateral mo. No? Pati alahas ng misis mo, kasama yun. So, para makahiram ka ng barko. In other countries, they don't do that. In other countries, even the loan is being guaranteed by the state. Kasi, maritime is like an economic engine, no? It's an economic engine where you produce dynamics of the economy, especially ang bansa natin is a market-driven economy, meaning yung pera ng seaman na dinala rito, yun ang kakalat sa palengke, yun ang kakalat sa eskwelahan, yun ang kakalat sa pagbili na notebook. So, your economy is becoming more dynamic and becoming more active. Kasi may pera tayo ng US dollar na pumapasok. Pero, hindi nakakarating hanggang doon hindi nakakarating doon sa target nating reintegration. So yun ang isang tinitingnan namin ng board when we were discussing about the MIDP. So the MIDP has to be with the maritime financing. And I'm happy na dito si Asek Yano, dito rin si Asek Alperez. So Kasi, ano yan part yan ng policy making ng gobyerno. And here we are, part of the industry, na pwede tayo makashare. Kasi, hindi tayo makakabili ng battleship doon para sa West Philippine Sea kung wala kayong pera. Yun ang katotohanan. So, natin dito mga seafarers, we can come up with the money from the shipyards, no? We can come up with the money for commercial vessels na ang sasakyan ng mga local and international tourists natin mababangong ro-ro, no? Hindi yung mga dikawayan na yung life jacket, butas-butas pa, or walang life jacket. Wherein, minsan nagkwento sa akin, I was also very happy sa kwento ni Yusek Sarmiento, sumakay siya, hindi siya nagpakilala, walang life jacket yung nasakyan niya. So, it happens any part of the Philippines, no? Kasi akala nila isda sila, hindi sila malulunod. Kapag life jacket ka, bakla ka, o duwag ka, yun ang impression Pero we have to change that kind of mentality. Parang nung araw din yan sa seatbelt sa jeep. Nung nagkaroon ng seatbelt sa jeep, pinagtatawalan nila. Pero ngayon nakita nila importance sa seatbelt na tayo, nagsi-seatbelt na. In the same manner, ganun din sa life jacket. Ganun din sa modernization. Ganun din sa pagbabalik ng mga seafarers. Pag uwi niya, hindi yung coaster o tansya ng birang inuuwi niya. Kung hindi pag uwi niya sana, part owner siya ng paskat or ng shipyard o ng mga barko. Kasi si paskat, pagpapagawa lang ng barko yan, if they are also comfortable, kasi iikutin din niya yung pera Di ba? So, yung nga sinasabi natin, it's market-driven. So, kami sa AAI, sa Alumni Association, we will not stop until we will be able to form this in writing and we will submit it to all the government and financial institution. Kung kailangan makarating kay Secretary of Finance, we will do it soon. And this will be soon. So, kasama kami ni Sir Jess sa MIDP. Salamat po, Asitlano. Salamat din sa inyo. And sana kay Captain Librodo, lahat yung mga members niya, sabihan namin na wag mo na bumili ng beer. Pwede naman yung $10, ibili muna ng bonds or ng pang-financing kesa sa beer, no? Kasi madali bilhin yung beer doon sa puerto kesa doon sa pang-financing. Pero nagbabago na din naman po dahil naimpusahan po namin with the AFP Mutual Benefit Insurance, no? Dito sa PMMAI. So, lahat po ng pati ho yung mga kadeting nakikita nyo sa likod, ano na ho sila, insured na po sila at their own cost at very realistic price monthly, and ginagawa na po namin kultura ito. So kung may umpisa po namin sa safety and security nila, pwede na natin isunod ngayon yung financial security naman nila. So pag umuwi sila 10-20 years from now, pwede sila magturo ng yung barkong yan, stockholder ako yan. Di po ba magandang pakiramdam yun? Not to mention, makita mo, kunyari, battleship. Kaya sila nakabili ng mga battleship yan. Kasi stockholder kami, ginawa yan sa shipyard dito sa Pilipinas na nag-create ng more jobs, opportunities, nag-create ng more labor. Di ba? So, yun po yung cycle na pinresent dito kanina ni Captain Chess. So, bilang Pangulo, habang ako po Pangulo dito, yun po pagtutulungan namin ni Captain Jess, na mabuo po namin yon yung financing. Of course, happy kami na nandun yung isang commercial bank, tutulong. Pero if we could put our own money, sabi nga natin, let's put our money where our mouth is, di ba? And then we will see a real development ng maritime. Sa atin magmumula. Dahil kasi wala din naman pera ang gobyerno Hingi lang natin ang tulong sa gobyerno, paano natin babantayan ng tama ang ating pondo, yung pinaghirapan natin. Kasi parang loans yan doon sa foreign loans. Para sa akin, maganda ang foreign loans. Nagpapasama ang foreign loans pag dinakaw. Pero ang foreign loans, hiniram mo na, hindi mo pa kinikita. Ginamit nyo na. No? Where inflation rate is very low. As I was saying, magkano binenta itong Port Bonifacio nung araw? 1.79 billion. Ngayon, magkano worth ng Port Bonifacio? $98 billion. So you would just imagine, maiksing panahon lang ho yun. Kung inutang nila yun doon, ilang barko nabili natin noon at hindi ganun kalaki yung utang natin. So, ako din, nananawagan din ako doon sa mga nangungutang na sa atin, sa gobyerno natin, hindi masama mangutang. Huwag lang nanakawin. And that's the essence ng loan. Tayo naman, sa investment po natin, mag-invest tayo, huwag tayo matakot kasi hingi tayo ng tulong sa gobyerno how to watch our money and how to create the mechanism kasi maraming mechanism sa financing. And ang trabaho natin sa Alumni Association is bantayan tong pera na to para mas makagawa ng mas maraming barko. Yun po yung objective. Salamat po.
Thank you for those advices, sir. Financial advice. Vote for. Next year? Okay, so now we will now go to the questions that were raised in our live online Pigeonhole Live. There is one question here with regards to autonomous ships. As you all know, you heard already that Kongsberg Maritime were given go ahead on their proposal for the chief engineer will not go on board anymore because they will just going to monitor the vessel on shore. Right? Now, how should, as the Philippines is one of the supplier of the #1 supplier. No, not just a chief engineer kasi at the later part, not in our lifetime, maybe 30 to 40 or 50 years from now, our younger generation cadets here will now be boarding maritime autonomous ships, right? And basically, SCCW is undergoing revisions, undergoing review right now. Now, how the Philippines, how ready are we? How should we respond, being the #1 supplier of the global seafarer? That's one of the questions from the mining side. Yes, sir. I am saying. This is the new technologies now, sir. What are the new dual fuel engines, alternative fuels? There are so many.
Yes, I think it has to do with artificial intelligence and automation. So, Filipinos are well known to be good computer operators. Hindi lang operators, kundi gumagawa pa ng mga programs. And if given a chance, Filipino seafarers will become experts on that also. So presently, we don't have training centers for that. So yun ang unang-unang siguro ilagay natin. No, that should be the one, or that should be given the priority. We have to put in place a proper training center wherein our seafarers should be sent in order to get expertise on this field of endeavor. Pag ang Pilipino mabibigyan ng tsansa, I think they will excel on that. No? And it's a matter of bringing experts, software experts, no, dito sa atin, at saka sila ang spread out ng mga knowledge and techniques to our Filipino seafarers. Sa ngayon, hindi pa tayo ready. But time will come. I think I'm looking at it at 10-year time. 10-year period.
Yes, sir.
Just addition, dahil kasi tayo naman always in contact with the PMMA, with Commodore Abutal, with the superintendent. He's here, pero what I know is that they're already bracing themselves and preparing to come up with those kind of subjects. Kasi ang problema ng PMMA is Republic Act 3680, nasa batas yun, limitado siya. It has to be marine transportation and marine engineering only. So, while sa US Merchant Marine Academy or sa US Coast Guard Academy,
meron na silang mga subjects na BS in ship management, meron na silang port management, shipyard management, meron na silang ganon. Tayo, medyo because of our very antiquated law, hindi makapag-expand. Not to mention na nagkaroon pa ng additional restriction dahil napapunta ng CHED after 1997. So, hindi tayo nakakalaban at PAC. However, I believe there's some move right now with the Congress and Senate. Actually, one of the proponents is Senator Tolentino, who will be coming tonight, or his representative, naipit pa siya sa Davao. Isa siya sa Senate Bill 2469, ini-expand yung PMMA into Philippine National Maritime Academy in order to accommodate this kind of additional subjects and to brace the future of the Filipino seafarers na hindi tayo mawawala sa mapa. Because sa maritime naman, alam naman natin yan, since 1820 when PMMA was here, that was the birth of the steam engine, nawala yung sail. So pagpasok ng mga Eskwela Nautica de Manila, yung mga lolo mo, sila Juan Luna, steam engineering na pinag-aralan nila. And that is something new. So ngayon naman, eto na naman tayo, mawawalan na ng mga seafarers. So Commodore Abutal is also there. Maybe if you wanted to share some developments, feel free. The mic is open, you can have the floor. Hindi naman. Kung hindi what PMMA is doing, since this is a PMMA Alumni Association, no? Microphone is here.